Hi, my name is Raja, and this is a screencast on Parted for Linux. This screencast will be available on my friend Danny's website, thedanishproject.com, as well as my website, rajasilan.com. Alright, let's get started with this. Okay, Parted basically is an emerging alternative to fdisk. Well, if you want, the sources are available at www.gnu.org. You can find it under their software category. One of the features of Parted itself, basically like fdisk, you can create volumes and destroy volumes. And also, unlike fdisk, you can resize, copy, or move your partitions around your hard drives. Okay. Uh, well, to launch partition, the first thing you need to be sure is you are the root user. This is because you'll be playing around with your hard drive partitions, and in Linux only the root user can do that. um, to start it, you just type parted at the command line and it will be up. So right now I'll do that. Okay, this is my command line. As you can see, I'm root, and I'll type parted. Okay, now we are in the program itself. By default, it uses my first hard drive, which is dev sda. You can see it here. And what I'll do is I'll give you an overview of the commands they have there. You can do that by typing help, and here it lists out all the commands. Some interesting commands that you might want to take note of are mkpartfs, where you can create a partition and the file system one shot. You can also view your existing partition table by using the print command. And like I said early on, there's the resize. That's quite important too. Okay, right now let's view my existing partition on my first hard drive. To do that, I'll just type print, and right now here you can see my first partition. It's ext3 file system, and it's also my boot partition because my kernel is here. And you have my secondary partition, that's a LVM partition. Another command that I wish to highlight is the rm command. This is used to remove your partitions or delete them, just like in fdisk. Okay, since we now know a few of the commands in Parted, what we'll do is we'll create a 2 gig hard drive which has a ext2 file system. This will help us familiarize ourselves with how it's done in Parted. Okay, right now if you see, I'm still in dev sda, which is my primary hard disk. I'll first have to change to my secondary hard disk, dev sdb. To do that, I'll use the select device command, which is this. So I'll just type select dev sdb and press enter. Okay, it tells you here that I'm now using dev sdb, and we'll print out the partition table for this hard drive. As you can see here, it should give you the info that it's an 8 gig hard drive, and since it's a new hard drive, there are no partitions available on this yet. Let's create one now. To create a partition here, I'll be using the mkpartfs command. What this does is, unlike fdisk where it only creates the partition, this creates the partition as well as formats it to a file system of your choice, depending on what you have compiled, parted with earlier on. So this gives you a brief overview of what kind of parameters you need to specify to mkpartfs. If you want a more detailed explanation, what you can do is type help followed by the command name, which in this case is mkpartfs. Okay, here it gives you all the parameters and it tells you what those parameters are. So in our case, we want to make this a primary partition, which is 2 gigs in size and with the ext2 file system. I'll show you how that's done now. Okay, mkpartfs followed by the partition type primary, and then the file system type, which is ext2, and start and end. That's basically how many megabytes you want it. In our case, is 2 gigs. Okay, it's almost done. Alright, it's done. And now it drops you back to the command line. Now that we are back to the parted command line, I'll just type print grid to verify what we just did. Okay, there. Here you can see the new partition we created. It's a 2 gig partition, a primary type, and with a ext2 file system. Since we've already done this, what we'll do now is I'll exit from parted itself with this quit command here. Alright, when you exit, it actually gives you a friendly message to update your FS tab as necessary. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll mount this partition into one of my directories. I'll do this to show you what it created actually. I already have a mount point here. Okay, my mount point is called parted HDD. So I'll have to specify the device or partition, which in our case is dev sdb1, and also the file type. The file system type. I'll leave the file system type as auto so you guys can see that like I said earlier, Parted has already created the ext2 file system, and true enough, here it is. Okay, now if I do a df minus h, you'll see that this is my dev sdb1 here, and it's around 2 gigs in size, and it was created with Parted. Since we've already got our partition dev sdb2 here, well, I think a lot of people won't be happy with using an ext2 based file system. So what I'll do is we'll convert it to an ext3 right now using the ext3 tools. There are a few command line utilities which you can use to do this. So first we'll need to unmount this file system, okay, which I'm going to do now. Alright, I've unmounted it. And the command that we'll need to use actually is tune to fs with a -j. Basically this adds journaling into our ext2 file system, followed by the actual partition, which is dev sdb1. So I'll press enter now, and okay, it's creating this journal. Alright, it's done. Okay, when I use the auto detect file system option in mount, you'll see that it has changed to become an ext file system. Previously, as here, it was an ext2. Okay. So now you guys know how to partition with the Parted program, and I guess that will conclude our work. Maybe in a future screencast I'll show you how we resize them. Thanks for viewing, and please remember to leave some comments in the comment box. Bye.